English literature actually is full of wonderful stuff. The most beloved person for me actually is Charles Dickens. Surely the second one would be Shakespeare. Charles Dickens is known actually for his most complicated plots, actually mingling and mixing all like 7 plots in one story. I remember the best one I read was that of David Copperfield. A story that gathers like a person who faces some troubles at home with his stepfather, and then he had a problem in his education, and then his aunt, and then and then he had some kind of talent in mixing all the plots together. I remember also A Tale of Two Cities, that one of the great love story, and so on. I also remember like that of Shakespeare, and his great works. The best one I believe is King Lear. His poetic form actually in writing, mixing the writing of non-fiction or like that of a novel with the language of poetry was actually very strong. And dealing with one of our lives' issues, I mean that of betrayal, especially in familiar issues, was actually what's more distinguished. Talking about literature is not only about novels. Another side is that of poetry. And we have different stages of poetry and different schools actually, starting from the classical ones, the Elizabethan era, the Romanticism, the Victorians, till we reach to the modern ones. Comparing such stuff, actually I don't like the modern ones. The best period or epoch in English poetry was that of Romanticism, surely under the leadership of both poets, Wordsworth and Coleridge. Those people, especially the romantics, believed in nature and imagination. I remember like Wordsworth talking to his tree. I remember Coleridge believing that nature dresses him up. I mean, once he is sad, he goes to the nature and looks at it, and that's it. He feels great. Even when they disagreed together, they usually talked in the beauty of nature. I remember when there was a debate between those of romantics and the philosophers about the content of the material or of the school education material. Some people said philosophy might work, while the others, those of romantics, believed that poetry should be the elements to be taught in school. They had such kind of a dogma or a belief that poetry is actually truth refined, which is the thing that should be taught to children. English poetry is full of such stuff. Shakespeare also wrote poetry, and I still remember "Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day" by Shakespeare. One of the greatest things of Shakespeare actually in writing his sonnets, poetry, is that when you read that you feel that he is writing to his beloved, using the kind of variety of words showing emotions and feelings, while it turns out actually that he was writing to his friend, his close friend. He didn't have a girlfriend actually. A relation that we really miss nowadays, that of friendship. So if you really want to understand the meaning of friendship, you can just check on the writings of Shakespeare. When you go for the different epochs of literature, you will find different ones. You'll find also like Christopher Marlowe in the Victorian age talking about imagination, about fear, about devil, about greed. I still remember his story, Dr. Faustus, that of the man who sold his soul to the devil and now he's suffering just for nothing. Literature for me is just a reflection of the life we take. What best suits, what makes that kind of literature really great is that it's not just related to one epoch. What's written in the 18th century is still fitting till nowadays. I really like to read it.